Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, there's been a lot of boycotts happening, or at least boycotts have been in the news a lot this year. I think most of y'all are familiar with that Hogwarts Legacy boycott that's been invading my social media feeds for the last couple of months. And you can argue about whether it was effective or not. I know it sold a ton of copies, but also it's Harry Potter, so it's like country music in that aspect. You already have a built-in fan base. You don't really need to do anything to sell that. But people wanted to boycott it because it's J.K. Rowling and she goes on the internet and says transphobic stuff all the time. So it's like you say stuff that we don't like, we're not going to give you our money. That's how boycotts work. That's normally what it's supposed to be about. You either did something we don't like or you're treating people poorly, so you don't deserve to have our money and you should go broke for it. That's a protest. That's a boycott. Now, I see a new boycott. I turn on my computer this morning and I see on Twitter a hashtag that's trending: boycott Hershey's. And I see that, and my first thought was, finally, it's time that we're going after chocolate makers. And this isn't some like health kick thing, you shouldn't eat chocolate. Eat whatever you want, I don't care. That's your life. But chocolate makers specifically, there's a lot of slave labor and child labor that's used in their process. You know, like most companies, they exploit labor in the global south to give you things at a cheaper cost. Chocolate makers are no different, especially because they have to source cocoa beans. So most of those pickers are going to be child labor. Now, they signed paperwork in 2001 saying, oh, we're going to work to get rid of the worst aspects of child labor from our sources. Mars and Nestle and all the big ones did that, but it's still there. They get rid of the worst parts, but that doesn't mean they get rid of all the parts. And unless your chocolate has that little certification star sticker on it, you can rest assured that the chocolate you're eating is the source of child labor. But I'm not trying to guilt you into not eating chocolate. That's not even what this boycott is about. This boycott is because they have a transgender spokeswoman who's in a commercial talking about eating chocolate, and that's enough for conservatives to say, oh no, we're not eating Hershey's anymore, they've gone woke. There's going to be all sorts of arguments about they're shoving their ideology down our throat by putting this person in a commercial, and I think that's the big difference between a left-wing protest or boycott and a right-wing boycott. A left-wing boycott, it's it seems like it's more about the effect of words or the effect of what people are doing. You know, you're putting harm on your workers, you're hurting children, you're spreading rhetoric that will cause people to be harmed, so we don't want to consume your product. Versus a right-wing boycott, it's because you hurt somebody personally or you hurt my feelings. Think about the Keurig protests when they were like breaking the coffee makers. That's because they pulled funding from Sean Hannity's show. The Nike protests when people were cutting up their socks and burning them. It's because Nike had Colin Kaepernick as a spokesperson talking about racial injustice. And admittedly, Nike talking about how bad it is that people are racially abused or the aspects of slave labor in the United States when they use slave labor in their factories to make their clothes, it's a little hypocritical. But for you to boycott them because they have somebody just talking about the history of America, I think that's a little bit on the nose for you. Like, why would you do that in the first place? So, yeah, they want to boycott Hershey's now because they have a trans person just simply existing in a commercial. It's silly, but that's the thing now. It'll be gone in a week. They're probably going to complain about, I don't know, maybe it'll be Starbucks again in a week. I haven't heard about the avocado toast stuff in a while, but everything's so expensive now, maybe they just forgot about that. Who's to say? I'm looking forward to the next boycott or protest that right-wingers come up with because usually they're all ridiculous. It's all culture war fluff, smokescreen crap, so they can get their fan base riled up so they can steal your money faster. But I don't know. I don't really like chocolate like that anyway, so it's neither here nor there for me. I just saw the boycott happening, and Now you know why it's happening too. But I guess until next video, y'all try to have a good day.